Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to staff meeting, our first staff meeting like this. Let me know if you have any issues with audio throughout or anything like that. Yeah. So let us know. We're going to go through a handful of things, mostly agenda items. A lot of our training for actual closing is going to be next week, but we'll review that. So welcome. We're going to start with kind of South and Mason specific stuff really quickly in regards to evaluations and walkthroughs. So if you've not yet signed up for your evaluation with Gabby and myself, we sent out that timeline hoping to get y'all scheduled for this week. We've had a few people hop on it, but if you've not done that yet, please do so. We've adjusted the range from the 26th through the 5th. So pick a few times that work for a couple days. Within that range, I'll pick something that works mutually for you and Gabby as well, for myself and Gabby. And then in regards to final walkthroughs, a reminder of what that is I'm going to hop up onto your floor. We're going to take a look to make sure that door decks are pulled down, boards are cleared, staples are pulled out of the bulletin boards, as well as like, is your lounge set to go? Are things like in good working order? We'll do like a quick walkthrough of your room as well. So kind of be prepared for that. Those will occur on the 7th through the 8th. You'll be doing the checkouts on the 9th. That's the day that your contract ends, that Sunday. You'll be doing those checkouts individually. So pop down to the desk to check out after you've cleared your room out, or you can process yourself. You can process you out yourself if you choose to do so. So once again, those walkthroughs need to be scheduled for the 7th through the 8th. So that's a Friday and a Saturday. Pick any time that works for you best. But that won't be your departure. Your departure is going to occur on the 9th. That's when your contract ends.
Yeah, and I was just gonna add to that and say that I also will be doing that for the North staff and the Center RA. So be looking out for an email that will come from me with more instructions of like a sign up sheet and whatnot. But next on the agenda, we have Guys and Dollies. If you are aware, they are a packing company that is located here in Bloomington. They will be not, what did they say? They will not be doing the packing services. They only will be doing the moving service. So if residents have questions about that, make sure that you reiterate that they are only doing their moving services. So students have to pack up their room themselves, and Guys and Dollies essentially will just move their items for them out of Willkie. So yes, other than that, I will pass it back to Gregory, who will go over the next items.
Okay. So we have checkout packets from Terza. They look like this. They'll have your community as well as your name on them. They're in the back central table where we tend to drop things, kind of like right when you walk in the door. If you get them early, it'll be hard to miss them, but they're sitting right on the center of that table. So these packets include essentially what are door hangers for residents. And on that table as well, there's also double-sided tape for you to put up. Please don't just put one piece of tape on these sheets. They sit horizontally, so at least have two, have the corners pinned. They should look pretty clean with the double-sided tape just sitting on the door. But it is a checklist for residents to look at, as well as like information, what egregious dirtiness or egregious damages look like and what billing structure looks like for that. It also allows residents to choose when, like, they'll sign out when they've left. So hopefully that makes your checks as you're doing your walkthroughs with your partner. That'll make that a little bit quicker, but these do need to be hung up on those doors by the 28th. When you're done hanging that up, please take the double-sided tape back. We don't have like a full roll for everyone, but we do have a lot of double-sided tape. But if people are hoarding it, we will run out. So make sure to be at least somewhat conservative with your tape. But this is what it looks like. It should be hanging on the direct door itself, so residents can engage with that. It's also that would be a nice thing to put into your closing your closing floor meeting if you haven't discussed that yet, or just throwing in your group me if you've already had your closing floor meeting.
All All right. So next on the agenda we have EO packets. So all of your residents, including yourself, in the office, Dave's staff will have Tirza or whoever is a DA put in all the mailboxes of the residents that stand with us, wipes and trash bags. So it's essentially like a small kit of cleaning supplies. So students don't have to ask for trash bags. Students essentially have wipes to wipe things down in a space that may be dusty, like the desk, because I know that's something we ask students to wipe down, like surfaces. But other than that, I will pass it back to Gregory.
Yeah, so our next item is kind of talking about just a little bit about checkout, where you'll be able to find information. We're going to do a training next week, as I said. But in order to find information, and none of it's posted there yet, but you'll go to Willkie staff, and then in full caps, pick the channel that says closing items. And then within files is where you'll find everything that you need. Included in that is going to be the roster that you are clearing residents from when you're doing your occupancy checks with your partner. On top of that, we're going to have a list of approved extensions, so you'll want to cross-reference that when we have our list. We'll also have a summer roster. So some students may, for some reason, not be showing up on that extensions list. We're trying to double check that, but they might be on the summer roster if they're not moving out. You'll be able to find that there as well. No one has received summer placements on that roster, so they're all going to be down at the bottom in room North 101. So if you're looking for a name, it should be alphabetically ordered at room 101. But you'll be able to find it in teams by going to the Willkie staff team and then closing items and then files within that team. Back to you.
All right. So next on the agenda, if you are following along with us, we have funding requests for the end of the year for your floor. So we are done essentially asking you all to submit funding requests. That time has passed. That was last Friday that you should have had all of those in by. I apologize if you didn't get those in by time, but hopefully if you're on staff next year, you can essentially work ahead of time to get those in. Mailboxes is the next thing we have on the agenda. Just letting you know so you are aware while you're at the desk that we are setting up for summer. So essentially, mailboxes are being sorted and for our summer residents who will be staying with us. And then also we are redoing our combinations on the mailboxes. So you also will see Larry, who is our maintenance guy for Willkie, outside changing those combinations. So if you have any questions about that, we can clear that up. Either myself or Gregory or even Tirza, who will be at the desk. So yeah. And then last thing that I have for you all is just bed loft defrosting instructions. So students who have rented refrigerator, microwave units from bed loft should have already received these instructions of essentially going through the cleaning of those microwaves and refrigerators, making sure there's nothing inside of them and making sure that they are properly defrosted, so not leaving unit in their space to defrost as they're going. But it's also good reminder for you all to just tell them to also do that. So if you can in your group meets, remind them to properly clean those out before they leave. Me and Gregory also will be checking to make sure that those are being done correctly by the residents themselves. But other than that, I believe I am going to pass it back to Gregory.
Yeah. So before we get to our closing timeline, I do want to introduce a few items about duty. We did have to do some rescheduling over Little 5 because the date moved. We do have some openings this weekend as well as next weekend, also due to staff within COVID protocol. There are a handful of people that Gabby has shot an email to or communicated with through Teams about trying to fill those shifts. Those folks are, if you've been tagged, it's because you have less duty days or had like 1 or 2 less duty days than other people involved. I know it's a bit short notice, but we do have to fill partially for Little Five, largely for the fact that we do have some staff in COVID protocol right now, and we need to be able to support them. So please get back to Gabby if you haven't yet. If you are down a day or two, you'll likely just get told that you're going to have to be working one of those shifts. It is best if you get back so you can kind of pick that shift. We know that people are busy with these next 2 weekends. Most likely it's kind of a transitionary period for y'all, maybe a last time to see some of your friends before you get out of here. But please do fill in those shifts. Another thing on a more serious note for duty expectations, we've gotten a few complaints about how people are operating with duty. We've also gotten a few rumors that some rounds are being skipped as well. So I would like to remind you that you do need to keep the phone and the radio with you at all times. That is very, very important for people being able to reach you. That's the reason why we have that phone, why we pay that bill. So people can contact if they're in an emergency or if they need support. On top of that, in regards to skipping rounds, we do view that as a very severe offense. It's very easy to just go for a walk. You do it twice during the weekdays, you do it 3 times during the weekend. We need you doing rounds, and if we find out that you have been skipping rounds, or if we notice that rounds are being missed, that is instantly going to be written up at the very least. But we do need to be very strict about that. On top of that, we also had an issue with packages kind of getting put in the wrong location for like the mail carriers placing them in the wrong spot. Outside of South, I think was the most recent issue. Occasionally we'll have a center as well. Whether you're on call or if you're not on call, please do redirect those items over immediately to the desk so the desk staff can process them. We don't want them sitting out. There could be hundreds of dollars worth of stuff in there for residents that we don't want to be held responsible for, because it's going to show that it was dropped off from the carrier. You know that the issues that we've had with mail lately, and kind of throughout the year, this is one of those issues, kind of just getting them directed to the right area. So please, please, please do so as soon as possible. But yeah, we'll pop back over to the closing timeline then.
All right. So these things we have been going over with you all. So just basically a reminder that these things are coming up. And you need to like essentially put them on your calendar, put it in your agenda, put it in your phone as things that you need to be doing. So April 25th, 3 to 5, which is this Sunday, staff bonding is going to have a last event for all staff to get together. We will be near the basketball courts. Essentially, we will have food. We will be outside grilling, and some sort of outdoor activity that will be announced essentially when you come. So please come out to that. It'd be good for everybody to be together one last time, to be outside, essentially enjoying each other's company. Look forward to seeing you there. April 27th from at 8:15. We'll have a closing staff meeting. In this meeting, we will essentially go over last closing items. We also will have food, fun, and then also just celebrating you all in your hard work for being on our team and essentially sticking through this year with us, because it has not been an easy year. And we just want to celebrate you and recognize you for your hard work. Next, we have April 28th from 8:15. So if you're returning for the 21-22 school year, we will need you all to show up at that time, which is, what is that? Is that a Tuesday? No, it is a Wednesday. So April 28th is a Wednesday. So at 8:15, we need you to show up because you will meet the new people who are hired to work with you for next year. And essentially, we can bond and go over things for what next year would look like for what we have already planned. Next, you should have picked up your checkout packets and distributed everything within that packet. So Gregory showed that packet in the beginning of this meeting. So if you have not picked that up, you need to make sure you have picked that up and put those items that are in that packet on your residents' doors who are here so that they can be reminded of that checklist and also sign when they have left, so we can be aware that residents have left. That will make your process more easy when we are going through closing items, and so you essentially can get out of here and make it easier on us as LT as well. May 6th through May 9th is essentially when we will be pushing all RAs to be going into spaces just to make sure that students have indeed vacated their space. So this is not requiring you to like do like a checklist to see of damages. Really, you just can into a space to see if the student has left, if they and then letting us know on a roster that will be in that folder that Gregory showed you on Teams. So make sure you will get more information on how that will look in the weeks to come, but make sure that you are doing that during that, which is finals week for you all, May 6th through the 9th. Other than that, I already said that. Yeah, I already said that. Yeah, so just let us know if you can't access anything in that folder that's on Teams so we can get you added to it. But everything that you need will be on Teams. And then lastly, May 8th at 10 a.m. is regular move out for regular students. So all students should be moved out by 10 a.m. And then May 8th at 12 p.m. is when essentially you all need to have all your bulletin boards down, all your door decks off your residence doors, including your own. And then essentially have all your last minute IEs put in on room packed, and any other I guess advertisement that is on your floor needs to be taken down. Other than that, I believe the last thing I have for you all is May 8th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Well, May 8th and May 9th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We will schedule walkthroughs that we already talked about earlier. Gregory hit on like what those will look like. So essentially keep a lookout for an email coming from me, and also sign up with Gregory and Gabby if you haven't signed up to do your walkthroughs with them. I am going to pass it back to Gregory.
Awesome. And just a reminder that May 9th at 10 a.m. is when you're good to go, good to leave. You're going to be checking out by yourself. That's also when most seniors or people who are approved late stays will be leaving as well. And then May 10th is when we're going to do the switch over to summer operations in full. But duty is going to start for summer operations on that night. If you have any questions at all, please reach out, let us know. One correction I do want to note, because I put it incorrectly on the agenda, so I apologize for that, Alex, is that the April 27th, 8:15 staff meeting, that's actually going to take place in person in the auditorium. That way we're able to spread out, show you everything on the big screen, kind of take questions a little bit better than doing it through video. It also allows us to get our superlatives, grad celebration, things of that nature out of the way, and will also hilariously be the first and the last time that we got together as a full staff, which is very funny. But yeah, if you have any questions, once again, reach out, let us know. Huge Hoosier hollers to all of y'all for the work that you're putting in academically, the work that you're putting in personally, saying your goodbyes, transitioning out of this year, as well as the work that you're putting in as an RA. It's been a remarkably difficult year, and we did it. We're just about towards the end, so appreciate y'all greatly. So yeah, cool.